This is the problem I had last time. Oh, there we go. It's actually working. Hello, everyone. We are doing some live game development on the baptism. I would like you to join us while we go on this amazing journey to hopefully start making our game the way we want it. Streaming from OBS, and hopefully it works. Stream running, by the way, on your phone. Can you see everything?
Yep.
Okay.
Looks like it.
Mm. See everything?
Yep. Quality of my screen ain't that great, but I wonder if I can bump up the resolution on Discord.
You can. I think you might have to have. You might have to have a nitro for that.
Maybe. Hmm. I don't know if I'd probably have to end the stream and then go back
Yeah.
in, which would screw things.
Wouldn't scream that bad though.
Right.
Okay. Let's get to development. Okay. Okay. Oh. I need to see the directional lighting here. Okay. Okay. I hope you guys can see. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, I don't actually need the game to be open for that. Instead,
What?
why isn't it 90? What if I put Y at 90? I hope you guys can see. Oh, no. Okay, I don't actually need the game to be open for that. Instead. Okay, go to DN cycle, play. Okay, that's why. Like I thought.
What?
You see, I was right. It needs to be the opposite. It needs to go to 0 to negative 180. Yeah, because it's not. It needs to be showing at the ground for it to actually do the day-night cycle. If it's going up, that's where the light is going. It's not showing. It's showing to the sky instead of down, where you want it to be. So that's why it's not working.
So, are you just using a texture for the skybox?
Uh,
Or what are you using?
Technically, no. This
Object
is the
from
day and
texture.
night. This is the day and night cycle. I'm not actually using. Okay, for well, I think I can actually answer your question. No, I'm not using a texture for the skybox. What I'm doing is making a whole bunch of meshes for the skybox right now, like the barrier more or less. As you can see, it's invisible, but if I take this, you see the box a lot more clearly. This is just a whole bunch of meshes I added.
Oh.
Yeah. That
Hmm.
was my solution to it.
Gotcha.
And then all I have to do is just boom, and you can't see it anymore. But you can add a material to the sky which changes like what it looks like in general. But right now I don't have it like that. Oh, you're the one viewing. I should probably put it because that seems cool. Like that would artificially boost our viewership. Why do I already smell like I steamed? Screw those. Womp 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 womp. Okay. Why am I doing notes? You go to YouTube.
Yeah, my screen on the stream doesn't seem to
Yeah, it's because I have
show.
it open. It doesn't work if it's like
No.
that. Okay. Because watch this. All I have to do is just go boom. See? Just go open OBS, and then it works again. Okay. Just go back to the not cycle. Go here. Go into the second key point and put that as negative 180, man. Now the day night cycle should be working. Yes, it is. Let's go. Okay, so you should see the sky. Yep, it's going over completely. 20 seconds as its timer indicates. Then slowly, then it should immediately snap back. There we go.
Hmm.
I have that just as like a base point for the day-night cycle to be.
Yeah.
Mainly so I know how it works, but also I can see things.
Right. I like it. That does look good too.
Yeah. All right. That's that done. Let me just upload that to the GitHub, man. I actually have to go to desktop, game dev, GitHub, and then I'll go ahead and help you with the thingy.
Nothing.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
go to test, switch branch. Oh shit, that's all I need to do.
What is the problem here?
Ah, I did it again. I have a lot of issues right now, my guy. You like this? I have an idea on how to get more viewers real quick. Take this link, Control C, just pop that in a few Discord servers.
Stupid.
Nuh-uh. Can't prove that.
I can't because I was just being stupid.
No.
Anyways, okay. What did you do?
Take this
Nothing,
link, Control
apparently.
C, just pop that in a few Discord servers. Nuh-uh. Can't prove that.
I can't because I was just being stupid. So we.
No.
Okay. Anyways, okay. What did you do?
Take this
Nothing,
link, Control
apparently.
C, just pop that in a few Discord servers. Oh, frick me. Nuh-uh. Can't prove that. Control C.
Okay, because I was just being stupid. So we.
No.
Okay. Anyways, okay. What did you do? Nothing, apparently.
Oh, frick me.
100.
Control C.
So faith is going to be a value from 0 to 100.
Oh, frick
So
me.
literally just
Clamp, what clamp does is basically just tells you that it can't go past this value and it can't go below this value.
yeah, no, I've used it before and
Oh,
other things.
okay.
I was just trying to figure out what it's called and get
Oh,
out
someone's
so,
growing weed. Oh,
so I
great.
could use it.
Oh, man. What can you do?
So literally just okay, so it just works like yeah. Clamp
Clamp, what clamp
delta
does is
faith
basically
from
just
0.
Would you mind if I put the stream in your down as relative Discord as well?
Yeah, no, I've used it before.
Oh, okay.
I was just trying to figure out what if you didn't.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, I won't.
Oh, great, use it.
I am going to put it in Godot though. Godot thingy. What can you do?
Yeah. Okay, so it just works like yeah.
New post.
Delta faith from
Would you mind if I put the stream in your down as relative Discord as well?
I was just trying to prefer if you didn't.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, I won't. I am going to put it in Godot though. Godot thingy. What can you do?
Okay, so it just works like yeah. It starts at full, it starts at 0.
Would you mind if I put the stream in your down as relative Discord as well? We should have like a little like sign timer for that. Like, Control V.
Fear. It starts at full, it starts at 0.
We should have like a little like sign timer for that. Like, okay. Control V.
Fear.
Post it to as many servers as I'm comfortable doing. Okery dokery dock. That should not be open. We should have like a little like sign timer for that. Okay. Post it to as many servers as I'm comfortable doing. Okery dokery dock. That should not be open. Okay. Post it to as many servers as I'm comfortable doing.
Let's see, what's right? Okay,
Okery
Godot
dokery
does
dock.
that. Sequence. Change with clip.
Okay.
Click. See, what's right? Okay, Godot does that. Sequence. Change with clip.
Okay.
Click.
Okay, looks like it works. Awesome. That's exactly what I needed. Okay, now I'm going to try and help you with the thing. I don't know how I'm supposed to do that, so
Getting your stuff to here through GitHub, or what do you mean?
yeah, I don't. Since you're working on that, I don't know what to do. Okay,
Um,
looks like it works. Awesome.
Let me get to a stopping point with this, and then we can do that.
That's exactly what I needed. Okay, now I'm going to try and help. Because even though I've been using it for a while, I still have no idea what I'm doing whenever it comes to GitHub. I mean, Godot.
Your stuff to
Not
here
GitHub. I know what I'm doing with
through
GitHub
GitHub, or
generally.
what do you mean? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. Since you're working on that, I don't know what to do. Okay, looks like it works. Awesome.
Let me get to a stopping point with this, and then
Yep, I get it. Turning on the fan, it's way too hot.
yeah, let's better do that.
Because even though I've been using it for a while, I still have no idea what I'm doing
On the
whenever it
left.
comes to GitHub. I mean, Godot.
Oh, no, I
Not
can't.
GitHub. I know what I'm doing with GitHub generally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. Since you're working on that, I don't know what to do. That got fee. Yep, I get it. Turning on the fan, it's way too hot.
Yeah, let's better do that.
Because even though I've been using it for a while, I still have no idea what I'm doing
On the
whenever it
left.
comes to GitHub. I mean, Godot.
Oh, no, I
Not
can't.
GitHub. I know. Wait, what is it you have trouble with thinking about?
So you have your fear counter and your faith counter, right?
Mhm.
Your faith counter is like a multiplier for fear. So if you have full faith, then your fear should like hardly move, if at all. But if you're at low faith, then your fear will move a lot, right?
Mhm. No. Uh, mm, I feel like with higher
Wait, what is
faith,
it?
the fear should move more.
Why?
Well, think about it, right?
You have
The
your fear counter and your faith
when
counter, right?
okay, whenever it comes to psychosis,
Your
right?
faith counter is like a
You
multiplier for
are
fear. So
most likely going to
if you
have
have
a
full
harder
faith,
time
then your
with
fear should like hardly
viewing.
move,
Okay,
if at
let me
all.
let me
But if you're at low
let me show
faith,
you
then your
because
fear will the move way
okay.
I imagine it is this guy is
No,
like if you're at max faith, this guy is
I
so
feel like
stuck in
with
his faith that
higher
nothing is
faith,
going to
the
shake
fear
him.
should move
And
more.
so his fear does not move
Well,
because he trusts his
well,
religion so
think about
much.
it, right? Well, here's the thing. He's also suffering whenever it comes to psychosis, from right?
Mm-hmm.
schizophrenia. So the faith could be what is fueling his fear. He feels like he's going to be possessed by demons because psychosis, right? Let me show you the definition of psychosis.
Well, if he feels like he's going to be possessed by demons, I feel like that inherently means his faith is lower because he doesn't trust in his God to protect him, you know?
That has almost nothing to do with it though. Here's the thing. Like let
But
me.
we're going with a religious thing here, so we
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying is that that has nothing to do with his religion being low. Psychosis is the term for collective symptoms that for a collection of symptoms that happens when a person has trouble telling the difference between what's real and what's not. Right? So if you can't physically tell about what's real and if you can't physically tell what's real and what's not, it's going to be harder for you to. I see what you're kind of saying about it, but I feel like maybe it's more or less the
because
dynamic is
my thought
weird.
is if he might not necessarily know it's a mental illness. He might just think, I don't know if we've decided on this, but he might just think it's like actual demons trying to harm him. I feel like if his faith were at the maximum, then he would trust his God so much that he just wouldn't even be afraid, right? That's what I think, how I think this would work.
Hmm.
Versus if he has no faith, then yeah, he'd be terrified.
But why would he be terrified if he has something to be afraid of if he doesn't have a religion, right? Just think of like
Well,
think of
you can you don't necessarily have to have faith to be religious. Like you can believe in a religious thing but not have faith to the God. Like you could believe that devils and demons and angels exist but not necessarily have faith in the God. Like faith has multiple meanings.
that's the problem with building building an entire like meter off of what faith is though. If it has multiple meanings, we can't dial it down to like 1 meter.
Not necessarily, but we can decide what meaning we're choosing it to be.
I don't know. For me, it makes more sense to have someone that is like uber religious be afraid of literally everything. Like the more faith you have, the more afraid of the world you become.
That
Like
feels backwards to me. Because
it could be both in a way, maybe. I don't know. The way this works is kind of weird because like in both cases, we've seen like the world and how it is kind of like that in a way, and how like people react to the world being like that. Where people who are extremely religious are also afraid of demons the most, at least. That's why they also call it the fear of God.
yeah.
They are literally afraid of doing something wrong. And we also thought that this
Mm,
character is basing his mental illness, like the basis of his mental illness is from trauma. So being extremely religious can also be a way of him exacerbating his own fears. So he becomes more radical in them, and then starts getting rid of things that actually genuinely make him happy, because he fears that it's against his religion.
mm.
So higher the faith could be higher the fear. I hope I explained that well.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I just think we had different ideas. Because, so let's go to this. Where, so you had the idea that his mental disorder came from trauma, right?
Hmm.
I don't think we'd ever talked about that.
I think we
Because
did
what,
at one point. I was probably in the car when we did. When you were talking about it. It's like he had like an abusive family. We were talking about it.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
I don't.
I think it might have either been. I think it was on stream actually when we were talking about it.
I remember discussing like what type of that we were kind of saying there wasn't a specific type of mental
I
disorder he
think it.
had.
I
It was
think.
just
Yeah, I think it was
like he
also.
didn't know it was just generally supposed to be like schizophrenia-esque.
Yeah, but I know that we talked about it because like we were talking about like him having trauma and like him like going through the town over and over, like the same town that he has the trauma in. Like he had a family that abused him, his family did drugs or something like that. I don't know, but I remember us talking about that conversation.
I don't remember that in the slightest.
I remember talking about it. I know it
I
happened.
have no recollection of
I,
that conversation.
I remember. I'm not crazy, I swear.
Because the way I had thought about it was he is just a very religious guy that starts having mental disorders, that starts producing these effects, and then because he's having these different experiences with these mental disorders, it starts shaking up his faith. It starts making him act erratically. It starts making him, question if his God's going to protect him, stuff like that. And so he starts throwing out
Mm.
things that he thinks is causing his God to act angrily or whatever, or make Satan choose him as his, like whatever. I don't remember
I
talking
need to
about
plug in my computer.
no one told me that.
I didn't mean to do that. Why did I do that? My brain is weird right
Or make
now.
Satan
Blink.
choose him as his, like whatever.
Mm. I need to plug in my computer. There's a comment I'm speaking of. I didn't mean to do that. Why did I do that? I feel like in both instances, like since it is going to be a multiple path game, I feel like there are different instances in where fear can increase within faith, and faith can also decrease the fear.
Yeah.
Scooby Bop, nada. Like in both instances, like
I'm just
since
not
it is
sure
going to be a
because
multiple path game, I feel like there are different instances in where fear can increase within faith, and faith can also decrease the fear. Scooby Doo, nada.
not sure. I'm just not sure because I definitely can see your idea. Not sure. I definitely can see your idea. Not sure. I definitely can see your idea. Jetted.
It's so hot.
Just what? To just like the core identity of who the player character is, then I think it's the best way to solve this. See, like, what makes more sense? Because if he's supposed to be a religious figure of some kind, right? I don't know if we ever specified.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make more sense for a prominent religious figure?
He's not prominent. He's in a small town.
Well, in his town, a prominent religious figure. I'm not talking like Bible person, like a person from the Bible. I'm just talking like someone who's like a preacher or you know. Um, does it make sense for
Hmm.
that person to try and like
He's not prominent. He's in a small town.
in his town, a prominent religious figure? I'm not talking like Bible person, like a person from the Bible. Make more sense for if this person starts rejecting things that would raise their faith, would that then yield less fearful encounters, or would it be the other way?
I feel like it'd be more fear because they are taking things that could be making them happy in life and throwing them away. Which
Okay, because that's the system I was thinking. Is if you keep the faithful things, if they don't act irrationally, then there's less fear, right? But if they throw those things away,
well, both kind of revolve around the faith, right? Because if you keep things, right, you might you might lose fear, but you're also not, I mean, that also takes away from faith, but also if you are more faithful, that also increases the fear. Less, that, I think that, was that what you're talking about? More faithful, increase fear, and then less faithful, decrease fear? Or is that what I
it
was talking
was
about?
that's what you talked about. Mine was if you're more faithful, then it's like you're so stuck up in believing that your God is almighty, your God protects, your God is benevolent, that you literally just can't see or can't even give attention to things that you think might be devil related.
But
And so you just the fear just like doesn't hardly even move if you're more faithful. That's what you talked
you go both ways still, because a lot of people are talking about the fear of God, right? Or the fear of a deity.
about. Sure.
Having that fear creates in itself like a whirlpool.
Things that you think might be devil related.
Let me look it up.
And so you just the fear just like doesn't hardly even move if you're more faithful.
You go both ways still, because a lot of people are talking about the fear of
I
God,
guess we
right?
just
Or
need
the
to
fear
decide
of a
then, is the
deity.
player character
Having that fear
a God fearing individual or a God loving
creates
individual?
in itself
Whatever
like
God they
a
believe in.
I feel like it should be fearing for the reason that it doesn't make for me personally, it doesn't make sense for someone to have a an extreme mental disorder without some form of trauma, past or present,
I guess we just need to decide then, is the
sure,
player character
or some form of stress that
a
happens,
God fearing individual? Yeah, I mean they usually are
right?
triggered by stress.
And trauma, right? So it makes sense for the character in the game to also be dealing with trauma and them getting over it as their baptism.
Mm,
So it's like you either fall into religion to the point where
sure.
you are suffering or you kind of accept a healthy middle where I should think there should be
Well,
kind of like three different endings for this
well,
where
again, if we're doing a baptism thing where you're like cleansing yourself of your past trauma of all these mental yeah, that kind of thing, then it wouldn't.
well, okay, let me explain in this area then. You have you have an ending where it's where you adopt a fear of God and you have an ending where you adopt a loving attitude to those around you and to God, and therefore you have the baptism ending. The ending would be the baptism, and you adopt an agnostic and atheist and maybe a hatred towards God because you have this trauma and everything towards it. So you keep so you can throw all of your religious items and everything, but you don't end up with a good ending really because you lost your your
Right.
personal identity. Hey, buddy. Hi, little baby man, little guy. Does that make sense at all?
Yes, but again, that kind of just sounds like what I was saying, where it's like,
Well, I guess it is.
because yeah, if you reject everything, okay, but don't step on everything, don't crash my computer. But if you reject everything, then that means you don't get your baptism, you don't get ugh,
You don't get,
that trauma release,
yeah,
and so your fear shouldn't be at its lowest, right?
yeah. It should be like there should be I feel like two endings where your fear should be highest. One where your faith and fear are high, which is called which could be the fear of God. One where your fear is high but your faith is low, and that's called the or something like anti. I don't know what to call it. Should I call it the atheist ending? I guess.
Your what was it? Fear is high, faith is low.
Yeah, fear is high, faith is low is like the hatred ending. The fear is high and the faith is high is the fear ending, or the fear of God ending, and then you have low fear, middle to high faith or whatever. I think there could be like four endings actually, maybe if
So it'd be if we do so say this is fear, this is faith, one is high, zero is low, right? Binary.
Mhm.
So we have both are zeros, we do low and low.
Mhm.
That would be low fear, low faith, could just be like the reject religion ending.
Yeah,
The
you
or
re
the
you
atheist ending. Embrace but none of that is real, so I don't
mhm.
know.
Maybe you find solace in knowing that nothing is real and that nothing in religion is real, and
The
also that
nihilism.
yeah, nothing is
Ending.
real, or maybe like the people
Well,
who have
matters.
been like looking at you aren't really doing so, and then you
Yeah.
just kind of like deal with it in a way.
And then you have faith high, fear low. That would be the
Uh,
embracing of God
yeah, or
ending.
the baptism ending.
The baptism ending. We have fear high, faith low. That would be
The hatred
the
ending
hatred ending. And then both high would be
would
the
be
fear of God ending.
yeah.
Okay. So we can have both. But, well, I guess it goes back to how the course system works then.
Yeah. How should the core system inhabit those ideas?
Yeah.
Do I need the player open anymore? No, I don't. I don't need the player or anything because the script is already there, and I don't need. Do I? I'll still keep the day night cycle open. Actually, no, I won't. It's too busy.
So it all goes back to how you, well, yeah. So you have your faith meter, which is affected by like rejecting items, by not attending church, by not praying, or the opposite, keeping those things, doing that stuff.
Hmm. And also not reacting fearfully to your surroundings.
That's the fear meter.
Yeah,
They're kind of two separate things, but they intertwine.
yeah.
Yeah, the fear meter is whenever things that aren't right, like quote unquote demonic things, do start happening.
Hmm.
It's how you respond to those. That's the fear meter. So they both should affect each other to some degree.
Yeah.
So it'd be how should they though?
That is the question, yeah. I feel like they can affect each other in some way, where like acting fearfully in a religious manner will cause both to go up.
Yeah.
I feel like there can be like little events that you can do that will cause both to go up or both to go down, or one to go up and one to go down, or one to go, or whatever.
Hmm.
Brrr. That is the question, yeah. or both to go down at some point. Can affect each other in some way, where like acting fearfully in a religious manner will cause both to go up.
Yeah.
Good. I feel like there can be like little events that you can do that will cause both to go up or both to go
Court.
down or one to go up and one to go down or one to go, or whatever.
Mm. I'm just trying to imagine, like, how could we balance? Because some things should affect fear more than faith, and some should affect faith more than fear.
I agree.
Like, I think we should do the more scary events should affect fear more, and then the more religious entwined things will affect faith more.
Yeah,
So,
but we have special events just like that can affect both at the same time.
mm, I'm just trying to imagine, like, how could
Right.
we balance? Because some things should affect fear more than faith, and some should affect faith more than fear.
I
Like,
agree.
I think we should do the yeah, and we could even do things like if a scary event starts happening, like for example, you're in your like at the end of the day, you go to bed, you're woken up in the middle of the
But
night,
we have special
someone you
events
think
just
someone's
like
breaking in.
that can affect both at the same
Um,
time.
if you choose, you can do several things. You can choose to ignore it, which will do nothing because it wasn't actually happening. You can choose to run down and try and confront them, which will be mostly a fear thing, like it'll affect fear more, or you can choose to pray,
Hmm.
which would probably affect fear and faith at the same time.
Hmm.
Stuff like that.
Where prayer normally would just affect faith, it wouldn't affect fear.
Yeah.
But in this case, it affects both at the same time. That's cool.
Okay. I'm gonna rewrite our GDT then. So
Okay, I'm going to open the game design document as well on my side so I can record you doing that. Where prayer normally would just affect faith, it wouldn't
versus
affect
through the
fear.
independent
But in this case, it affects both at the same time. That's cool.
to certain fearful events. So if it's
Oh
faith meter.
boy, it's lagging again. Okay, I'm going to open the game design document as well on my side so I can record you doing that.
Faith meter. Wires. Versus through the independent.
But in this case, it affects both at the same time.
Facing certain fearful events. How religious player acts.
Oh boy, it's lagging
Yep.
again. Okay, I'm going to open the game design document as well on my side so I can record you doing that.
Faith meter. Wires. Turn it up on the target audience. What would this be? Huh? Where would story endings be? Which sex basic what it could be in basic story or main gameplay mechanics?
We have an ending section for basic stories, so I guess it would be there.
Oh, yeah. So we have where would story here be? Which section basic what it could be in basic story or main gameplay mechanics here.
We have an ending section
Um, here.
for basic stories, so I guess it would be there.
Oh, yeah. So we have so low fear, low faith was the we can think of a better name for this later, but nihilism and then
We have an ending section
the
for basic stories, so I guess it would be there.
the baptism ending, the canon ending. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they're all canon, but that was like the good ending. So low fear, low faith was the high fear, low faith would be um, the hatred ending.
Okay, I'm trying to get there. Remove GDD. Okay. Boom.
The canon ending. Maybe.
Window
Maybe they're all
capture.
canon. God fear.
GDD.
High fear, low faith would be the hatred ending.
Okay, I'm trying to get there. Remove GDD.
And is consumed by their fear.
Boom. Yes, indeed, a redo. Okay. Window capture. GDD. Okay.
Write short like descriptions of what the endings are. If you have issues, then tell me.
No, looks great so far.
This one, the player retains their faith and is consumed by their fear.
No, wait, what? Okay.
Player retains their
This doesn't make
faith.
any sense. Nihilism ending, the player rejects faith and is consumed by the fear. Makes no sense because it's a low fear ending.
Oh, you're right, you're right.
No, looks great so far.
This one, the player retains so true. And that would probably be better off in the hatred ending, wouldn't it?
Okay. Yeah. And nihilism ending, the player rejects faith and is consumed by the fear. Makes no sense because it's a low fear ending. No, I think I have a better. Player rejects faith.
Yeah, because if we imagine what that ending is, it's basically like if the player walks through the game never going to church, never praying, never doing anything like that, and they never react to any scary events. They're literally just going through their life like a normal, like I say normal person. Most of the normal people go to church because that's the average, but you know what I mean. They just walk through their life as if nothing's happening at all.
I think I have a better. Just going to put illness without.
But just is completely undeterred by anything happening. Imagine what that ending
treatment.
is. Basically like if the player walks
those with their illness without treatment.
Never praying,
Yeah, it is undeterred.
Like that, and they never react to any scary events. They're literally just
deterred.
Like I say one person.
Does it have 2 R's?
But yeah, 2 R's.
Okay.
Walk through their life as if nothing's happening at all. Hatred ending.
The ending.
Player.
Low faith, low fear. The nihilism ending is literally the ending.
I know.
Yeah, it is undeterred.
I never really.
Nihilism is more of just like knowing that you have no purpose, and then knowing that you will eventually die without any purpose. That's nihilism.
Yeah, 2 R's. Okay. Right. I think it works.
The ending. Player. Low faith, low fear. The nihilism.
Player loses all faith and.
Nihilism is more of just like knowing that you have no purpose, and then knowing that you will eventually die without any purpose. That's nihilism.
Right. I think it works. Does that? I'm not sure if I like this that much, but does it work? Player loses all faith and. Right. I think it works. Does that? I'm not sure if I like this that much, but does it work?
Player loses all faith and
becomes. What's the word for like? It's not
engulfed.
contempt.
Contempt.
Since we're neat. Become contempt with their god. I don't think that's quite
In
the right word, but
contempt
it's
of their
close.
god? No.
Feeling it's beneath consideration, worthless, or deserving scorn.
Player loses all
Deserving
of scorn is what is
that does kind of work.
I feel like
Player becomes
there may be a better word.
contempt their
Contempt.
god. Become contempt with their god. I don't think that's quite
In
the right word, but
contempt
it's
of their
close.
god? No.
Feeling it's beneath consideration. It's contempt with their god is consumed by their illness. I think it works.
Deserving of scorn
We
is
know what it's supposed to mean.
that does kind of work.
Cool.
I feel like there may be a better word.
Okay, now I gotta start figuring out how I can track these things.
I'm going to put cleanses because there's not really a realistic way to get rid of their mental illness, but
You guys want to split a burrito pizza with me?
sure.
Sure.
Okay. I'll order it next door here.
Cool.
Eating there twice today, I guess.
By the way, how is your mom and dad doing, by the way?
They're good. Oh, I just got back from a trip.
Oh,
I
that's
can't
cool.
remember where she went, but she went somewhere with work, with her work.
Yeah, because I haven't talked to you guys in a little bit. I've been really freaking busy with school.
How's your summer school going?
Pretty good, yeah. Right now I'm kind of trying to catch up as well because I spent like a week just helping my girlfriend recover.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and I mean, I wanted to do homework, but
Mm-hmm.
I also didn't want to leave her for a moment because she was in a lot of pain.
Gotcha.
I know it sounds like an excuse.
What?
Yeah.
What was the?
It was gallbladder surgery.
Ew.
Yeah, she had to get it taken out.
Damn.
Yeah.
How important is the gallbladder?
Huh?
How important is the
And I
gallbladder?
mean,
Is it one of those organs like the appendix where it's like
not really.
it's cool if you have it, but
Well, yeah, it does help, but you don't necessarily need it. The gallbladder kind of controls the flow of bile into the stomach to actually digest your food.
mm,
So you can so without the gallbladder, the usual symptoms of without gallbladder is that you have acid reflux because your body doesn't know how to really regulate it anymore without the gallbladder, but it does try. Your body's very good at adapting, and so it does. Like with your appendix, did you know that it's not actually vestigial? Your appendix actually controls your microbiome.
yeah.
It's pretty
Doesn't it
cool.
hold like a small storage of your microbiome, so if
Yep.
something happens, it can replenish.
Yeah, and if that gets removed, it's usually because it's basically turning necrotic.
Going to explode. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want things getting into that and causing a terrible
Yeah.
fiasco. Fiasco.
Right.
I really like
So
these endings.
yeah. So the player should probably start at 50-50, right? For fear and faith, like
I think
in the
about,
middle.
yeah.
Storage of your microbiome, so if something happens, it can replenish.
Yeah, and if that gets removed, it's usually because
And what should the going to explode?
yeah.
Bench.
You don't want things getting into that and causing a terrible.
Yeah. What should the benchmarks for what's considered high and low be? Should it just be anything above 50 is high and anything below 50 is low?
No, I think there should be a definite kind of like because I don't want it to be very difficult. Because if it's 50, then I mean, if it's at 50, I mean, that's okay and all, but I want there to be like around 55 is where it starts to become high, and then around 45 is when it starts to become low. Having like a
Because yeah,
10-point difference.
the only thing I'm thinking of is if we have some kind of middle ground, then we're gonna have to have a bunch more endings for like, what if they're low fear, but then in that middle space for faith, or what if they're low fear and then high faith, or what if they're middle for both, or what if they're middle for fear, high for faith, middle for fear, low for faith, and then we'd have to think of endings for those. So,
We can definitely have
or
it where
if we didn't have multiple endings, we could
I feel okay. We can solve the problem, I think, easily here. Whereas if you have high faith but your fear is middle, then you just get then you just get like like if your middle is like 50, but like to actually get the high anything ending without if it stays in the middle though. Gosh dang, I can't think. My brain isn't thinking.
What if we did just have like
Yeah, and then I have an idea for like the middle ending is like business as usual ending. Whereas if you have high faith
it'd
but
be
your
9 endings,
fear is
right? 'Cause you
middle,
have
then you just get
two
then you
different
just
things, three
get
for each. That should be
I
nine.
think so. So the idea I kind of had, right, is if you have like high faith, for example, and like middle to like average, like I say faith, yeah, middle average fear, it becomes like whether or not during that time can I say this? Can I get my thoughts across?
Two different things, three for each.
During that time, it could be something like. So the idea I kind of had, right, is if you have like high faith, for example, and like middle to like medium fear, high faith, average fear, it becomes like we have a 10-point increment for the middle. So if it's like if it's higher, if it's around 55, it becomes like a high ending. And if it's below like 50, then it's like like still in the middle but below 50, it's a low ending. So if it's like high faith and it's like 54 um fear, then you have the high fear ending. But if it well, or you have like, or you have the middle ending, maybe you would just make middle endings. I'm making it more complex than it needs to be.
Maybe. So if you want to look, I just typed out what all the other combos would be. So it's low, low, medium, low, medium, high, and then high, medium, high,
Okay.
high, low, high, medium, high, high.
So medium fear, low faith, medium fear, medium faith. I feel like this one can be called business as usual. Nothing really changes. You just go about your day, but
True.
you
I like that actually.
like you don't change, and it's just kind of like making you feel guilty about not changing.
Yeah. Yeah, so like naturally the interesting endings are going to be the extremes where you're
Yeah.
low and high or low and low,
Yeah.
but the others could be make those interesting.
At the end, we want you to like have low fear. And so I feel like there should definitely be like a 10-point difference between like having like medium, high, and low. So like it's like 45 and then 55 being high and low respectively.
I feel like we should have yeah, I feel like you should have to like decently be at the extremes for the lows and highs.
Hmm.
Like I think it should just be like 33, 33, 33. 1, 2, 3, whatever. But you know,
We don't talk about the point three 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 three.
just so it's like even for each.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, we don't even necessarily have to do percentages for that.
Yeah,
We just,
it could be 33, 34, 33.
yeah, and it's more like for the meter, it's more of just variable value. So you have to really check is whether or not you're getting a certain amount of points, I guess, or does it have to be a meter?
It would
Does it
you
have to
just
be a
have to check
percentage?
which range
Oh,
things are in. So
okay.
like if it's
No.
between 0 and 33, if it's between 34 and
Okay.
67, or
Yeah.
between
We don't have to
68
do
and
it.
100.
Yeah, we don't have to do it like in percentage meter. Kinda. We just have to check whether or not you're gaining points or losing points.
Yeah,
My brain totally forgot how to code for a moment.
you're good. Me too. Okay, so I guess we should think of something to put in these mediums then, because we have
Medium fear,
low.
low faith. Medium fear and low faith. How would that make sense? Medium fear and low faith is kind of like conspiracy ending, where you feel my brain totally forgot how to code for a moment. That Mm.
So
Nihilism ending. The player low fear, low
what was
faith. No.
high fear, low faith?
High fear, low
Fear, low
faith.
faith was the hatred, right?
High fear, low faith. Hatred ending. I feel like it can be more of like a conspiracy theory ending where you never went to church and then like you feel like everyone is watching you and then we have no, that still doesn't make any sense. That we can call like the low faith, medium fear, the hermit ending, where you don't want to go outside, but and you feel like you're going to be watched everywhere you go, but it's not the most extreme way you can do things
Mm-hmm.
because you can just like be completely consumed by your fear and hatred. This is more just like you just don't want to go outside. You're not completely fearful, but you're just like, hey, I'm an introvert now. That'd be the medium fear, low faith.
Maybe.
Don't want to go outside, but and you feel like you're going to be watched everywhere you go, but it's not the most extreme way you can do things because you can just like you should also make it to where like the meters also like decrease like every single day or every single event tick, or like if you go a day without praying, then you lose like a certain amount of faith points.
Yeah,
And if you
I think we should have tracks for that. I don't think there should just be like a set decrease per day.
maybe
It should be like if you don't do a specific thing on a day, then it changes.
hmm.
Because otherwise,
We should also
yeah,
make it then it becomes a management game,
yeah.
and we don't really want that. We want well, it's going to be a management game no matter what.
Yeah,
It practically is just a horror management game.
yeah.
It's no different from a horror management game. Gosh dang it. I guess we have to have some game mechanic like this anyway for it to work, right?
Yeah. It's not really management, it's kind of just playing how you play and then you get a story. If someone wants to farm all the different endings,
Then
then
it
they'll have
becomes
to
a
manage
management
it.
game.
Yeah. It's a management game. What? What would
It's no different from a horror management
being
game.
what would so they don't have faith. They don't
Like this anyway.
believe in the religious stuff. They are just afraid of what's happening to them. The uncertainty ending of like I don't know why I'm seeing these things,
Then it becomes a management game.
but it is scaring me. Something like that.
I don't know. We could have that like a medium ending, like where it's medium faith. I mean, medium fear, low faith. That'd be like, why the heck this happening, bro? That's kind of cringe, but more scary sounding. Sure. Sorry, I'm not very good at talking right now.
Does that make sense for medium fear, low faith, uncertainty?
Yeah, it makes sense. Uncertainty is kind of middle.
The uncertainty.
Yeah, uncertainty is definitely middle ground, so it makes
Yeah.
sense to be a medium ending.
The uncertainty.
You are not necessarily afraid, nor are you religious, yet you are still wondering why these things are happening to you.
Reject.
You reject their faith.
Like you're talking to the player.
Your God.
Should we do your type use? No, that doesn't. That's weird.
Uncertainty is definitely
Your. Yeah.
your as a title instead of just like a adjective. Your is an adjective technically. No, it's not. Adjectives describe things. It's a noun, but it's not a proper noun, so it doesn't need to be. Doesn't need to be. Oh boy. Their faith. Your God. Interessante. Is there anyone in chat? Adjective. If anyone is in chat and I have not gotten to you, I do apologize. But it's not a proper noun.
No. I've been checking it.
Doesn't need to be.
You fear your God and your future.
Nuh-uh.
You lose your ability to distinguish reality, feeling and belief affecting teens. Lose faith for a moment, you fear your
Better
God
sound,
in your
Dave.
future. I like that.
Anyone in chat?
You reject your God.
If anyone is in chat and I have not gotten to you, I do apologize.
Reject your God and are consumed by your illness. You fear your God and your future.
Nuh-uh. We had 4 views.
They're probably from
Better sound, Dave.
future. I like that.
Well, I guess concurrent views counts. Supposedly.
Reject your God and are consumed by your illness. Reject your God and are consumed by your illness.
Nuh-uh. We had 4 views. It's still like this. Oh, that's why. Whoopsie daisies. I guess concurrent views counts. Supposedly. I totally forgot that I had to do that. I had to do the thingy. I had to transition it, and that's why it was like cutting off like half the entire thing.
Yeah.
So if there were any viewers, they had no friggin' idea what the heck was going on. Good work.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still like this. Oh, that's
Oh,
why.
yeah. So
Whoopsie daisies.
I kind of like this style of like an ending tag. So we have a description of
I totally
kind of how the player
forgot
acts.
that
Like
I
with
had
this,
to do
it's
that.
you
I
lose your
had
ability to
to
distinguish
do
reality,
the
feeling you become infected with demons. And then an
I had
ending
to
tag for like
transition
what
it,
happens
and that's
after.
why it was like
It's like
cutting off,
after
like,
the ending of the
half.
game is you
So if
fear
there
your
were any
God
viewers,
and your
they
future.
had
some
no
flavor
idea what the heck
text.
was
Yeah.
going on.
Like it cuts to black and there's some flavor text.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
So like what would this be? The high fear low faith? Hatred and you reject your God and are consumed by your illness. What would be the flavor? Or the like what would happen to the player after that? Would a little sentence for that be?
Psychosis ensues. Something like that.
I like that.
Like some flavor text.
I cannot believe I spelled that right first try.
Flavor text. Yeah, it sounds cool. I love it.
Psychosis. What about psychosis awaits?
Oh wait.
Psychosis ensues. I don't know.
And ensues feels too clinical.
Like what would happen to the player after that? Would psychosis is all that remains.
Psychosis ensues. Something like that.
I like that. I cannot believe I spelled
Yeah,
that
but then
right first try.
psychosis feels too clinical.
I think that sounds good. What about psychosis awaits?
Oh wait.
Psychosis ensues. I don't like that.
Reject your
Ensues feels.
Is that fan on maximum?
There's yeah, there's higher psychosis is all that remains.
Guessing it's this one.
Guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, but then psychosis feels too clinical.
So try one more time, it might get faster. There you go.
Hey.
I don't like that.
Yeah, there it goes.
Ensues feels.
Okay, so
Just like looking at a fan, just like wow, that would kill me if it fell.
I think that all the time, like, wow, what would happen if the center of it just broke and all the fan blades just shot up into the walls?
Psychosis feels too clinical.
So try one more time, it might get faster.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who's weird. Yeah, there it goes.
Okay, so
Just like looking at a fan, just like wow, that would kill me if it fell.
I think that all the time, like, wow, what would happen if the center of it just broke and all the fan blades just shot up into the walls? Faith is unbreakable.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who's weird.
You say this, your faith is unbreakable.
And you learn to understand what you're going through your God. Understands, and you learn to understand it as a test, like your trials as a test through your God or something like that.
Learn your faith is unbreakable. You learn that these visions hold no weight compared to the glory of your God.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. You say this, your faith is unbreakable.
And you learn to
Lost in
respect
your
your
own
God
mind.
through your God.
These deceptions.
And you learn to understand it as a test, like your trials as a test through your God or something like that.
Learn your faith is unbreakable. You learn that these visions hold no weight.
Perhaps because psychosis felt less poetic than it should have been. Hatred ending, you reject your God and consumed by your illness. Lost in your own mind, you become a shell. Something like that? No, that feels. Yeah,
It's close. It's very close.
it feels close. Yeah, right. It's like the tip of the tongue phenomenon. Lost in your own mind. I really like that line, but I don't like what it describes. Lost in your own mind. Oh shoot. Perhaps because psychosis felt less poetic than it should have been. Lost in your own mind. Hatred ending, you reject your God and consumed by your illness. Lost in your own mind, you become a shell.
What about
Something like that? No, that feels. Yeah,
it's reject your God and they're consumed by your
it
illness?
feels close. Yeah, right. It's like the tip of the tongue phenomenon. Lost in your own mind. I really like that line. But
Something something husk. I don't know.
like what it describes. Lost in your own mind.
Consumed by your illness. Did we come up?
Lost in your own mind. Lost in your own mind. Hatred ending, you reject your God and consumed by your illness. Lost in your own mind, you become a shell.
What about
Something like that? No, that feels. Consumed by hatred.
reject your God and they're consumed by your illness?
Close, yeah, right. It's like the tip of the tongue phenomenon. Lost in your own mind. I really like that line.
Something something husk. I don't know.
Consumed by hatred.
Consumed by your illness. Did we come up? Consumed by fear. I think makes more sense. What about
Consumed by fear.
a husk consumed by fear?
Yes. You reject your God and are lost in your own mind, a husk consumed by fear. That's really good. I love that. I love that.
Consumed by fear, I think makes more sense. Okay. Let's finish this out then.
Consumed by fear.
Consumed by fear.
Yes.
I don't feel like reject is the right word.
Reject your God and are lost in your own mind, a husk consumed by fear. That's really good. I love that. Rejecto.
You understand that there is no. Let's finish this out then. No meaning, no
Place like home for the holiday.
I don't feel like reject is the right
Low fear, low faith, nihilism ending. You understand that there's no meaning to anything. You are undeterred.
No meaning to anything. Are undeterred by these.
By the machinations of your mind.
I like that. No meaning, no
Place like home for the holiday. Low fear, low faith, nihilism ending. You understand that there's no meaning to anything. You are undeterred.
Understand this to anything. You're undeterred by machinations for your own mind. Are undeterred by these.
By the.
We're making like a pseudo personality test.
Imagine a game that's also a personality test. That's
There's
crazy.
been ones like that, yeah. But it's one where you don't know it's a personality test.
Ooh, spooky. Yeah, we're streaming this.
Yeah. Well, most people probably aren't going to see these stream videos
5
that much.
views. Hello and welcome to the stream. If you want to talk, just put in chat for anything you want to talk about. If you want to give us some ideas onto how we can make our game a little bit better or how you might want to see our game go, you can, of course, talk about that and we'll answer any questions that you have. Yeah, we're streaming. Welcome to the stream.
Yep, hello. Right now we're figuring out what different combinations of fear and faith could yield for endings for our game.
I am trying to understand how to use. Okay, go here, go here, transition, keep
Yep, hello.
transitioning until it works.
Right now we're figuring out what different combinations of fear and faith could yield endings for a game.
I am trying to understand how to use. Okay, go here, go here, transition, keep
Yep, hello.
transition. Doc.
Right now we're figuring out what different combinations of fear and faith could yield endings. What should we should have a name for the different things, like as if the player character comes up with his own like name for what's happening, for like the different like events that are happening, like visions or I don't know, something. I can't think of a good word for it right now, but something so that we can like directly reference that name in these just throughout the game or in these end cards. Things like as if the player character omens maybe like name for what's happening, for like the
Ode.
different like events that are happening, like
Let me look up the word ode.
or ode definition. I don't know, something. I can't think of a good word.
Ohio Department of Education.
Something so that we can like directly reference a lyric poem in the form of an address or that's just throughout the game or in these end cards. Not by a dictionary definition at least. Omens maybe.
Ode. Oh, a limerick has regular meter. Let me look up the word ode.
What?
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. That's a limerick. It has a regular meter. But I suppose it can be considered regular.
Not by a dictionary definition at least. Odes have a regular meter.
Yeah, and you said it was like a limerick.
I didn't say that.
Did you?
No.
Oh,
What?
poem meant to be sung. It's poetic. But I feel like omen works better.
I do feel like omens work. Let me make sure I know what that word means. It's good to double check yourself.
Omen. Oh, man.
Regarded as portent of good or evil. I didn't say that.
Did you?
Oh.
Poem meant to be sung.
I think it worked.
Oh, you looked at the definition. Omen gaming PCs. But I feel like Omen works better. Just get the gaming PCs, bro.
Let me make sure I know what that word means. It's good to double check yourself. We went down a viewer.
Oh, well. Oh, man.
Regarded as portent of good or evil.
Imagine how bad this will be.
I think
The entire stream is crazy, dude. Omen gaming PCs. But I feel like Omen works better. Just get the gaming
Omens.
PCs, bro.
What's the plural of omen?
Omens.
That's what I okay. That's what I thought, but
Bro.
I didn't know if it would be like deer, where it's like you were unaffected by the weight of these omen, because that like almost phonetically works.
It feels weird to say, though.
The weight of these omens.
Oh,
That one?
man. I'm gonna look it up. Alright, well,
It's I just looked it up. It is omens.
momentum. Yeah, omens, plural omens. An omen is a warning or a sign, a good or bad event that will happen in the future. It is an augury or foreboding.
You lose your ability to distinguish reality.
I can make it a little bit better, I think.
Medieval. I'm feeling that these omens will. I'm not that.
You are swallowed by the illusions of demons infernal, yeah. Feeling that you will become infected if you lose faith for
What's a religious a word for like not possessed
not possessed.
taken by demons?
Spirit possession.
You're not relevant.
That's pretty much the only word, though.
Synonyms for spirit possessed.
For a single instance.
Spirit possession.
Psychic control, religious occupation. Psychic hold, holy province, psychic title, supernatural control.
It's like for
Possession. Bro is fucking fiending.
what is that word?
Mephistophelian? Wicked fiendish. A Mephistophelian cackle.
You'll become this festival. Yeah, no, we are not using that word.
Yeah, we are fucking not, bro. No one will ever know what it means, dude. And they will not. They will not. They will not even care to look it up. I know they won't.
Not what I want. I want something like demons take over your mind.
Mind control synonyms. Easy. Doesn't have to be religious.
But I want it to be because it's a high faith ending. 100 Bible verses about when Satan attacks your mind. Perfect.
I don't think you're gonna read all of those, bro.
Not all of them I'm going to read until I find something that would work.
Manipulation, brainwashing, intellect. Mind manipulation, mental control. Hypnosis, coercive persuasion. Brainwashing. None of these are good. None of these are as extreme as we want it to be.
Yeah.
The problem is like finding a word with enough oomph, right?
Exactly.
Indoctrination.
Indoctrinated. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a pretty strong word. Your mind could be that your mind could be destroyed and indoctrinated. Become will be destroyed. Indoctrinated. If you lose faith for a single instance, you fear God and your future.
I like moment more.
Moment?
Yeah.
Memento mori?
Unis. Honest.
Synonym. Brainwash. Propagandize.
Proselytize?
Proselytize?
What does this mean?
Inoculate? Convert or attempt to convert from religion belief. That is literally the perfect word, but no one will know what it means.
Proselytized.
You have 8,875 points, bro. That's
What does
crazy.
that mean?
Oh, but okay. Trust me, you will probably care. You see, there's this thingy. Good. I'm just gonna look up a random word. It's not even a word. So basically, you can exchange these points for a gift to Godot, and all you have to really do is just search every day. And I have it set to redeem.
Well, I do a lot of searching, so
Let me show you.
cool.
I have it set to auto redeem a $100 gift card for Microsoft, and you can do it for Xbox and everything for any amount you want. So you can literally pay for Destiny stuff by searching on your computer.
Weird.
Yeah, it is indeed.
Inoculate.
I could possibly get an Amazon gift card. Well, I'd have to get like 3 Amazon gift cards by searching, and then I could technically pay for a DS just by searching on the internet. That's crazy. Proselytize means convert. Have to convert someone to religion or their belief system. To accept your beliefs, especially about religion and politics. Thing is, okay, I know what we can do here.
I don't really know if proselytize works because it's not like the demons are. I don't think the demons would be like trying to change their beliefs. They'd just be trying to harm them, right? I don't know if proselytize works.
I also want to see the usage of this word because indoctrinate is something that's current, and I don't think proselytize really fits with a modern audience. 1670 to 80 is when it was used.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't really think this word will work. I don't think anyone will
That's fair.
probably pay attention to it anyway.
they'll see it and be like, "What does that mean?" Probably. Anyways, so all the illusions of demon. They're I feel like there's a better word. Like, a word for
Words for indoctrination to religion and to cults. Yes.
words for being taken over. That's what I'm looking at. Conquered. Synonym.
It goes full circle in the position. That's funny.
It's the closest because it's just being like consumed by something.
I know, but it doesn't feel as powerful
Yeah,
as it because it's
that's what
so
I'm trying to find it.
more powerful. Okay, let me look at more powerful word than possession. Words more powerful possession.
possession.
Fucking love this, bro. Guardianship to seize, holding occupation, tenure, occupancy. But belongings. I read that as an R for a second. Worldly goods, colony, dependency, territory, holding, dominion. Dominion's pretty good. That the demons will hold dominion over you.
And then maybe, what about like devoured?
Devoured like a tower in besiege.
On the hour.
Eating gallons of flour. Devoured on a tower like eating gallons of flour. Devoured on a tower on the hour, covered in gallons of flour.
What about you're swallowed by the illusions of paranoia, feeling that you will be devoured if you lose faith for a single moment. I kind of like it.
Yeah, it kind of like pays homage to Swallowed as well.
Consumed, yeah. Be devoured if you lose faith for a single moment.
Capitalists, when the word devoured, it has "our" in it.
Okay. We need to get off of this one. We need to go figure out the medium ones.
Devoured.
What would low faith or low fear, medium faith be?
Low faith, medium faith?
Low fear, medium faith, yeah.
Low.
Yeah! Dad. Who did you?
Yeah.
Low fear, medium faith.
Low fear, medium faith.
That would be like you aren't shaken by the things that are happening, but you're still mostly religious.
You aren't shaken by the things that are happening to you, but you're just going about your day. I mean, having medium faith is probably about as close as most people get in religion nowadays.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, it's basically not
Normie ending.
Yes.
I don't know if I could say normie because they're completely. Most normies would not just ignore.
Normie is a
whatever they get.
slur. Normie is a slur. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look up if normie is a
I
slur.
don't think it is.
Is normie a slur? Slur.
I do not think it is.
What the? Bro, stop! He kept typing E. An ordinary conventional person is distinguished from someone who is a member of a particular group or subculture. I think it would be fitting.
But I kind of don't because most normies would not just be completely undeterred by schizophrenic episodes. So I don't think normie fits.
Above average normie ending. Chad
The
normie
Chad
ending. The Chad ending. We can
I don't know if we could do that because then we're. I mean, we could, but it'd kind of just be like saying that you have to be religious to be a fan,
which feels anti-Chad.
yeah, anyone can be Chad.
Anyone could be a Chad, yeah. I feel like there could be a joke ending like that. Or
Oh, definitely.
yeah, where you're just like a complete fucking Chad.
I think joke endings should be secret endings, so they should
Yeah.
be with these non-core endings.
Yeah.
Low for your medium fade.
Why is that for the penis?
Where?
Right here. Kind of like my penis. Am I the only one that sees that?
Barely. What would this be though? So you're undeterred by what's happening, but you're somewhat religious.
The strength.
The fearless ending.
No, maybe the
Something like
strength
that.
in numbers ending. Okay, imagine this, right? You are a known member of the church. You have people who believe in you, right? So you have numbers,
Yes.
and you're not fearful because you have those people who can support you. So you're still regularly religious. You're not overly religious. So it'd be like the strength in numbers, and
Hmm.
like you're not fearful of these things because you
do
have
like
these
that.
people. And then we can think of some joke endings, which would be kind of funny.
I think yeah, joke endings should be saved for secret things, which we'll
Yeah.
figure out later. Strength in numbers. Well, to make this one make sense, we'd have to have a like some kind of a religious community in game, even if it's just like a bunch of people in the church.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
Yeah,
story wise we can have that.
things are good. Like if one of the things you do on a day is go to church, there can just be like a bunch of character models in what are the chairs called?
Yeah.
The real seats in churches.
Peers.
Peers. Those people are in those, and then there's a few people around you can talk to.
Bro, I thought of
And wouldn't he be the person that preaches at the front?
dude, I just thought of the best freaking thing ever. Not having the preaching be static and that you choose the options to preach.
Ooh,
That would be good, wouldn't
that
it?
would be cool.
Because like it reflects your character's emotional state. So saying the more like
Yeah,
fearful things would increase your fear and your faith.
yeah, and we could even make certain events happen that like if you say something super off, then everyone can just like start
Yeah.
turning somewhat demonic
Yeah, or
or
like
getting aggressive because they're like, "What are you doing?" Even if in reality they're kind of just confused, like, "What is he okay? What's wrong?"
yeah, that'd be kind of cool, I feel like.
We can play with that.
We indeed can. What Disney princess look like if they were normies? What?
Okay. Medium fear, low faith. This was the uncertainty ending. What you looking at?
Freaking memes, bro. I should not be doing this because it's being recorded. Eternity ending. Mhm. Mhm.
I think we can play with things like if you're high faith, then we call, instead of referring to the visions as like part of an illness, we would refer to it as being like omens of some sort, versus if you're low faith, then instead of calling them omens, we just call them something else. Or should we
Could
do both?
be. I think it can. I think it can be both.
Like,
I feel like there should be specific dialogue choices and like other things that happen whenever you're like peeking at certain points to tell you that you are peeking at certain points, so you can kind of change if you want to, or if you feel like, hey, this is a bad idea, I might want to do something else.
yeah.
So there should be like different dialogue keys that tell you that you're doing something wrong or something like that. I don't know. Like not necessarily wrong, but like maybe you don't want to go for an ending and or maybe you don't want to say that this is your personality, that you're the kind of person that's awfully
Well,
religious and stuff.
I think we should let players just decide. Like, if a player wants to go a super religious route, then they can just do that. I mean, how they're deciding day to day through the game what they're gonna do kind of just is. We should probably go eat.
Yeah, yeah, we should. I agree. Should I pause the stream?
Can you just pause it or will
I don't
it
know.
off? Yeah, you should
Um,
probably.
yeah, cut it off for now. I don't think anyone's gonna be viewing it at all.
No one's watching.
Yeah. Well, hope you guys have a wonderful day. If any of you are actually watching, yep, have a wonderful day. Bye bye.